I've been guided today and recently to start doing more voice recordings for Blu-rays specifically, because it's easier to share and explain of what I'm feeling and going through on a level that, can I say, only Blu-rays get in a certain way of a depth and a level that we understand a deeper knowing without the words. It's the deep Blu-ray feeling transmuting that comes as a natural part of us. And what I'm prompted to guide and share about this morning is from a post I wrote about the inner child and how to be there to protect and give our inner child that self-love in a very new way that recently we went through on the 6th of September a death of the old childhood negative ego template, which was so huge, the breaking of this. And that I wrote in an update that we're not to transmute for others like we did before. And this is very true, this is very real, this is here and now. We're coming through firstly with this, with ourselves for the whole planet, yet ultimately from our original divine source space as the lost and forgotten ray, the Blue Rays. I won't go too much into that here. I will share that from a child's energy space, we took on the healing and transmuting through ourselves as Blue Rays for others that came naturally for us as part of our massive and amazing roles here with humanity all. Our time of transmuting for others, as we did, is over. Now, this is foreign to us as part of our Blu-ray DNA template, as we are creating a very new Blu-ray template. And due to this, we are needing to face some very alone times in the past of doing this ourselves. Now, it's taking time for this with us, as we have so much to heal due to our natural state of transmuting all the time, of our past deep wounding of being who we are, feeling as much as we do. We are to now bring in another way for ourselves of what we are needing to newly create for a very first time. It's time to take our power back, and to do so we need to table and feel, show how we are feeling with others to grow further, or right as if we are. This is something I've written before about our ascension. We need to talk, we need to table, we need to share. So many more Blu-rays are coming out into their own light, slowly but surely. And the next step is our gathering together to help each other grow by tabling, talking, sharing. If not at this point, you're listening to this, so that's a start. We write, we have Blu-rays, we have a creative side that we need let out, whether in movement, definitely music is a lifeline for us, art, drawing in whatever way, but you know what, most of us, it's writing. Writing just seems to be the ultimate cathartic release to help us link our spirit from our soul. So, either way, we need to release to express our innermost feelings, doubts and insecurities that we can and do feel from time to time, as well as being so very strong and having a double energy. I've shared with many Blu-ray and indigo souls I have divine healings with of, do you realize how big your energy is and how powerful you are? And how others feel this even when we do not? As we are just who we are, and due to this and our energy being out and big, we then pick up so much in others and many doubts of ourselves. In doing so, as we also pick up on others' doubts, we transmute so much. we've been carrying so much for so long of transmuting to help us to help ourselves by doing so, that we need to find and come within to get this from ourselves now. That role of transmuting and us feeling and learning that way now is really over. We can't, or we are unable to do that anymore that way. It is just too intense for us now. Everything's changed. The planet, humanity, the Lion's Gate especially, again recently, a whole new way in the recent days of a new way of ascension that even myself as a ascension pioneer and trailblazer is finding this very, very new for myself. When I say what I said before to others about realising how powerful you are, most say no, they do not realise. I know it took me a very long time to realise this for myself, and all those times we've been told we are too loud, too intense, go too deep. These are our natural gifts of being so amazing in who we are. We just didn't know it, and we've had to grow into it, because part of our role of transmuting and feeling taking everything on from when we were a child, and we're looking especially now in the other updates on the Blue Beyond Guide. This is Anastasia, by the way. I don't feel comfortable and get at the beginning yet to introduce myself. I just like to just go in with the flow, and just start off from spirit that way. We need to realise that all others feel and see what we do, and that it is a big step to do so over and over and over. We need to remind ourselves of this until it's fully ingrained in us in both spirit and soul. And this is something that comes up with many souls, is re-reminding them as we work through layers and levels and processes. Others, not all others, feel and see what we do. They're not in that space. Remember this, remember this, remember this. Keep coming back to self, keep coming back to self. We do so much on the astrals and in our sleep. We do double shifts. I actually tell people of the not spiritual world I live in, well, that I love too, that I am a shift worker, and they get that. I honour myself in the 3D world of words they use and understand in living this, as in ascension and leading and paving the way for humanity in doing so, as so are you. I do. I say I'm a shift worker. I own it. I own the energy work I do. When people say, what'd you do today? Oh, yeah. I sat there and I was drifting off, and the dragons came and up in the upper realms, and I was guided to do this. No, of course not. So I just share generally, yeah. They say they're tired, didn't get much sleep. Yeah, me neither. I'm on shift work, and own it. I keep to myself my deeper inner knowings and only give bits, gems or nuggets out to those who I can feel, resonate to shine my light on my path, for them to find that themselves, and by not wanting to fix, save and rescue anyone. It's not my place anymore to do so after what you and I have given to others for most of our life. Well, all of our life actually. It takes a master to learn about our energy boundaries and how precious our liquid gold of the divine is. Our life force that we need firstly for ourselves. I just want to stop here and add to what I just read about us giving to others for most of our life and all of our life. What has come up repeatedly, even with my son this morning, with many souls, is what I've written before about there is a part of us, a small part of us still left remaining that is new, that is newly being revealed to us, of where there was someone currently or in a recent past or a past where we wanted to save or rescue, that opened our aura up on the astrals. I'll leave you with that. Any more is more in a personal explanation for someone, which I am available for divine one-on-one healings to assist you personally. For their situation, one this morning was they could feel, and they had a dream that they gave their power to someone, a female, and they tried to go back into the dream and claim it back. So we looked at who was one of the closest females to them in this lifetime, and it was a partner, and they said they didn't feel it was that, they weren't resonating fully, and I said, look, I just know that it's new, you just sit with it. Then all of a sudden in a moment they said, oh, I do remember someone 2 years ago that they were in a really bad space, and I went in and I was doing some rescuing and saving. They said, I can feel that's still open. And they said, hang on, I can also feel it's open to this current partner female closest to me. So I said, close the doors. Close the doors up there. And they closed the doors. They said, yep, I've just closed them both. It's the realization and bringing this to our and one's consciousness that we can then simply, in a matter of what I just explained to you in that process with someone this morning, can do it that quickly and easily once we have the consciousness and the awareness of what, and that's what's going on. Okay. I'll go back to it takes a master to learn about our energy boundaries and how precious our liquid gold of the divine is, our life force that we need firstly for ourselves. Choose who you give your liquid gold to. Do not compare yourself to anyone else in their journey. And of all the love and bliss all the time that's written and shared about that people are feeling, while you are going through the deepest depths of your soul and spirit for a very new way for all of humanity, know you will benefit and will reap the rewards of doing this and feeling this right now when there's so much else shared about others that are having shifts and breakthroughs, and that's fine. You do and you will as well. They're just in that moment. You know, it's we can't be in fantasy, love and bliss 24/7 all the time in our human reality. We can feel that within in divine deep faith and trust, yes, but our emotions fluctuate up and down to find a balance, We Blue Rays are the change of coming up and out as we repair and heal ourselves in a very new way, of a very new ascension that is coming through new now. We are the new golden grid that is rising up on the planet. And I want to thank those of you Blue Rays that have found your way to reading my posts and updates as we are re-meeting. We are gathering. We are real. We are here to make a difference. We are now currently making this new difference. We are creating a new difference, a new template for ourselves. And this means that this is bringing up many past childhood traumas and wounds of the old negative child ego template breaking. We reached our limit of endurance. We are now rehealing from the ages 0 to 7 and building up a very new foundation, like new parents to ourselves, of rebirth, a reascension of a newer way of ascension as Blue Rays. Of shifting, processing, analysing, receiving new input, data, Blu-ray downloads for yourself. Open your crown chakra, path and channel right now of the divine. I'm holding the space in the human being in 7D. I've been in 5D for 13 years already myself as Ascension Pioneer and Trailblazer Wayseer, to be able to bring this through to you as a Blu-ray elder. By going through it firstly for myself, as you go through firstly for yourself too, as I share of the divine through myself, my personal experiences, like you, where we resonate, we connect, you give me validation in your comments and your replies. We're doing this together. We're breaking through. Let's hold hands of a new Blu-ray template grid for ourselves, dear souls. And release. Now, I love you very much. And I mean what I say. As always, I'm right here with you, and I am.